Mhm. Peace be with you, brothers and sisters, truth seekers. Welcome to Let's Play of Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. It's a blind Let's Play. I am a Catholic Dominican priest from Croatia who decided to enter in this kind of world and try myself out inside of the grimdark future of Warhammer 40K. So, I think today is going to be a fun day. Um, Yeah, we're gonna begin with the prayer as usual. I was actually checking out the a little bit of the history of the prayer to Saint Michael the Archangel that we prayed a couple of times before. Uh, it's a very, very interesting backstory on the prayer. Basically, in September of 1888, right after the morning mass, the last Pope Leo, he was Pope Leo the 13th. The current Pope is Pope Leo the 14th. He basically became traumatized to the point that he collapsed. So Pope collapses, and those in attendance thought that he was actually dead. After coming back to consciousness, the Pope described to the people around him a frightful conversation that he heard coming from somewhere near the tabernacle. That's the place where Jesus in bread is being kept. The conversation consisted basically of two voices which he heard. Voices which Pope Leo the 13th, understood to be the voices of, on one side, Jesus Christ, and on the other, of the devil. And the devil boasted that he could destroy the church if he would be granted a certain amount of time. Some say 75 years, some say 100 years. But the devil basically asked for permission to have a greater influence on the world, on the people who will give themselves to him, to his service, right? So that he would have more power over the people over the world. And the Lord reportedly replied, "You will be given the time and the power." And the Pope was shaken by that vision that he received. And after that, he composed the prayer to Saint Michael to Archangel, and he ordered it to be recited after all low masses. That's the type of the mass in Latin that was being held at the time. So for it to be recited after all those low masses as a protection for the church against the attacks from hell. Uh, and that was an order on the whole Catholic Church in the whole world. Everybody had to pray the prayer of Saint Michael the Archangel. It's a very powerful prayer. And even though it's not obligatory to pray it today, I think the name of the current Pope is kind of maybe signifying or pushing us towards the direction to invoke the protection of Michael the Archangel more. And because of that, we're gonna start with today's prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Sancte Michael Archangele defende nos in proelio, contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli esto presidium. Imperet ili Deus, supplices deprecamur, tuque princeps militiae celestis Satanam aliosque spiritus malignus, qui ad perditionem animarum pervagantur in mundo, divina virtute in infernum detrude. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. For a small percentage of you here that do not know Latin fluently, that means Saint Michael the Archangel defend us in battle. Be our protection against the malice and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world for the ruin of souls. Amen. It's a very nice and powerful prayer. Okay. So back inside of the 41st millennium on our void ship, which is named Pallium Domine, remember? The mantle of the lady. I think we finished our adventure, the expedition on Urak 5, and now we can go on. I'm not sure where exactly. So is this also? Does it also say already explored? Maybe here first? The prison planetoid. Riken Minoris? No. Wait, stop. I'm afraid that there's a passage of time when I move. Maybe that's a unreasonable fear that I possess. There are a lot of quests over there. I would like to just visit some kind of a planet for side quests, not to go immediately. I doubt that I will be I will not be doing every side quest inside of the game, but I usually, as a person, am kind of a perfectionist and a completionist in games. So there is definitely a type of satisfaction that we get when we play an RPG and finish all the side quests. But as it's impossible in real life to do all the side quests, so sometimes also, unfortunately, inside of these kind of games as well, we do not have all the time in the world. So Voxmaster Vigdis stops us and says, Lord Captain, there is some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left headquarters and is currently in the wardroom. The uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. So she frightens people. Maybe that's the seeping of her emotions on the ship. So we are going back to the officer's deck now. What's happening? A courteous bow.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
Okay, so she's perusing the dusty tomes. She's reading. She hides a weathered book behind her back. So she's hiding something. Points at the book in Cassia's hands. I see you're fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves. And I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
It reminds me then maybe of La Divina Commedia, the Divine Comedy. Yeah.
Uruk V had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Okay. Let us show that we care. The events that took place on Uruk V must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders. But it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
All right. Your only attendant is your valet from Uruk V. Do my servants not measure up to your standards?
No. It is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
I succeeded in a perception test. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, her tiara, I presume, and then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of the navigators often becomes a topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising, then, that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. Yeah. There is a lot of insecurity that we humans hold when it comes to our outward appearance. It's we should be aware of it. We should combat it, basically, not to be overly attached to how other people see us, but also to have to foster a healthy image. Healthy is the best word. To be healthy. and then not to shy away of how we are, how we look like. I hope that you have had ample time to calm yourself and your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting.
Shades of umber unease. That's an interesting syllogism. Yeah, I like it.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
Such a shock. Is it possible? I possess a shred of fellow feeling.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
We have from romantic to downright brutal. You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad, and it is just as natural to share them with others. True up to a point. Human emotions are not bad and cannot be bad, but our free will, our decision about how we act on the emotions that emerge in us, is what makes the emotion, so to say, good or bad. Right? If I feel angry, that's not neither good or bad. Maybe it's a righteous anger. Maybe I have a right to be angry about something. Some vicious crime is happening, and yeah, I should be angry about that. So it's not a bad emotion. But if I am constantly angry, if I remember the wrong that someone did to me like 3 years ago, and I have no peace because of that, constant emotions, it's a bad emotion, so to say, right? But yeah, that's a good answer here.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
Okay, well, the feeling of having a family, of someone caring for you, that's a necessary feeling for us to have, you know? We, regardless of what some people say, we're not born alone. It's impossible. We have a mother. So we are always tied to someone else. We're social creatures. In our nature, we have in our nature to share ourselves and to be accepted by others and to accept others and share our own experiences and knowledge with others.
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
I wonder, what is the time span? How long do these navigators live? If you know, you can comment down below. So how much time does she have to read all the books that she wants? I listened to some kind of, I don't know what I listened, but there was mention of Thomas Jefferson, how he read like a lot. And I mean, yeah, something connected like the Catholic literature that he was reading. But basically, he read every book that he had. Every book that came to his hands ever, he read it. Of course, there were a lot less books at that time, but still, that is someone who is really well read and educated. And there were a lot of professionals, the intellectuals of that age and before, basically would read everything that came into their hands. It's unfortunately impossible to do that today, or fortunately impossible. There's a lot of junk literature. We should choose carefully, actually, what to consume, what to read. No, come on. Privacy of my chambers? No. Fun of latest feelings? Captivated me? No, I don't want to go romance or something like that. Okay, yeah, 4 is a normal answer, a nice answer. I understand what you're going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so private.
Private?
My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Ah, now we come to the issue. Nah, come on. The first one is lying, useless flattery. Is it so bad that we're enjoying each other's company? Again, straight to my chambers? What? Come on, no. No! Perhaps my people did not wish to disturb you. I do not tolerate idlers on this ship, and my officers know it well. Maybe that. Sure.
Then, I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump.
Sure.
Thank you for your company.
We should not force this kind of conversations. You know, relationships take time to grow. And okay, I mean, the officer's deck. I think there's. Is there anything interesting here? I never explored this. It would seem. Huge door here, huge door there, huge doors everywhere. And we also leap through the huge door. Okay. Funny. It's also always interesting for me to see the combination of candles, wax candles, and all the machinery. Yeah. Let's go here. We're continuing. Yes. It's a cathedral on top of the ship. It's crazy. We're continuing our journey towards an unknown prison planet. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Vessarian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Oh, can't a Lord Captain just travel in peace over here? So I have to speak with Generis on a void ship. Generis is the Master of Whispers type. Oh no, the procurement, right? Abelard, this is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a high-born brat out on a lark, Explain yourself, Lieutenant. Avrila Vent. I don't think I've heard of Avrila. I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Oh, Abelard is angry because she insists that she sees me. Okay. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence to a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrila Vent, requesting permission to speak on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. Yes, I'm chastising both of them. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that drastic times called for drastic measures. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary, but I'm convinced that this step is unwarranted and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sauerbuck, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Versarian, and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. She reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you. Okay, so there is an insurrection in the making aboard my ship, and no one informed me? No one has informed me? I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue traders' attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in a revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order. But even 8 years later, we were still battling rumors that the hero who survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. But on this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room. I've already given you the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. Okay, and how did this all start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head. And where does Seneschal Versarian come into all this? I shall explain. I beg you to hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that I have always handled internal problems myself, so of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valancius will find refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Viserion. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to the brink. Now there is a strike on the lower decks in Depot 4, to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Interesting. Abelard, what do you have to say to all this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they're not lying or harboring heretics. That way you will stop the uprising before it begins. Okay. Interesting. What is Depot 4? One of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. So he thinks they're a replaceable resource, nothing special. We can easily eliminate them and replace them. And he thinks they are harboring minions of the archenemy. But she thinks, or says, that Depot 4 is just poor and troubled. At worst, just drunken fights, illegal rot gut brewing, and stuff like that. But the problem is spreading to other sectors as well. Okay, yeah, I'm certain that Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Okay. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Yeah, sure, no. Jocasta Sauerback. Lord Captain, I regret that enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led to your and Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to Depot 4 myself and see to the expedient resolution of this incident. Okay. Yes, I choose all of the party members because there will be a fight there, it would seem. Why else would the game give me an option to choose my party members? Unless some kind of either skill checks, but more probably a combat situation will ensue. Yes, lower deck rebel. Maybe I will be able to solve everything with persuasion or coercion. Let's go for it. And immediately. Wow, nobles! Nobles are with us! Hey, it's Versarion! Take that, scum! Oh, wow. That was rude. Was this an actual weapon or just like feces? He reflexively wiped the sweat from his brow in a startling new human gesture, and a telling one, or a moment when he allows his age and wariness to show through his armor-like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Did you hear? They were shouting your name. Of course they were. The organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been a cause for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend, one who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne no less, whereas I am the man whose name is attached to every order docking rations or lowering a base heating. But they dare to disrespect the senior officers. I don't like that. They would not have the chance to express such disrespect if we were not here, and if the situation had been dealt with by the relevant officers. It is a junior officer's worst failing to pass problems up the chain of command. I have never been able to abide it. I shall say it again, it was a mistake to come here and lord on Lieutenant Wynn's whim, Lord Captain. I must admit that a lieutenant is by no means the worst material for an officer, but in the name of Terra, the girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter. Great-granddaughter. Eldest great-granddaughter. So he is old. And she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and how to contest. It will be another 20 years at least before she can be trusted to act without oversight. Okay, so technology, I presume, expands the lifetimes of people over here. I presume. So let me see the minimap. I should be careful with basically everything. Let me see. Rebels. What's this? A valve? Can we click the valve? Negative. There's a door. There's another valve. Let me see what's here. Lower the rebel. Valve. A lot of valves over here. Knock knock. Anybody here? Wow, nobles are here from the upper decks. Maybe some of them saw nobles for the first time in their life. And most probably they have no idea how my character looks like. Goods. Do I have anything useful to take? Sure.
Quiet.
I mean, this already is my cargo. So it's kind of unusual for me to loot from my own ship, but sure, let us reallocate our resources. I think that would be an appropriate way to put it.
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Not yet.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
Let me see how the simple folk live. Huh. I bet for some people here, they have the experience like the female protagonist from the Titanic when she went with Leonardo DiCaprio to the lower decks of the ship. The sounds of heated discussions reverberate through the ship's bays. Not boys, but bays. Lieutenant Avril Vent, barring the path of the superior Sauerbach, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expression, standoff has dragged on for some time, and is near boiling point. Jocasta. Lieutenant Went, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. Fair enough. She knows the chain of command. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. He mutters in crabby approval. Very nice, very nice. Your lordship. Okay, what's the situation? My people have locked down the bay where the strikes are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control. as far as resources allow. Under control. So, interesting face. Does she have like a metal? Jocasta is that's a female, right? So she has like a metal something on the chin, which deceivingly looks like a beard. So, but Jocasta says that they're on the verge of mutiny. Okay. We witnessed an outrageous conduct of some people. The people are getting desperate. Clearly, they saw the assault unit and decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Lord Captain. It's outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. Okay. Well, if I will have to chastise Vent, I will do it later on, not on the terrain. Not on the terrain. That's a sign of a weak leader. So, I will speak to the strikers. Abelard does not favor my decision, but a kingly type of a leader is not afraid to be in the front ranks. Even though my character is a strategist who likes to be in the back with a sniper rifle, yeah. But when I assume a leadership position, I do have to be in front. That way, I will command respect. So I will have to go down. Down, down, down. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. Hopefully we will not end up in a ring of fire. Let's see. Cutscene. Greetings, your graces. Okay, they are shocked. They are definitely shocked. Crude weapons, simple clothing, varying levels of mutation, from minor to grotesque. So who is the leader? For Depot 4! Okay, they bow. Some of them are bow. Rivet. That's the guy, I guess. Lord Captain, you have come down to us. They bow clumsily. Okay, let's first start with sugar, and then we will add the pepper. What's troubling you? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship. All we are doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Oh, come on. You're shouting, we won't stand for it anymore. Shut up, Rivet. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all of us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for the batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to hold bays for a week at a time, and we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. Pugh! Interesting. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. Like a true nun with a machine gun. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amid ships and had no fellow feeling towards us. Your lordship, we're no villains here, we're honest workers, your servants, we plotted no disorder, we went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we are doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say? I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. Now it says that. Cultist amulet? What's that? The Gew-Gaw they found in the dead drunkard. If it was something evil or forbidden, we shouldn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies, the boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me those cultists have better commanders than us.
Excuse me, old man? Oh yeah, those boots were really fine, and there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't know any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor, and when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a dead priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are a people of faith.
Okay, interesting. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the archenemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one.
That was probably like 200 years ago then.
That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will blame you when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? Who will you blame? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Okay, interesting interaction. Abelard, do you have anything to add?
I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Nevertheless, I'm certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedoers. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Decisive?
Sawyer Buck. Was it really necessary to torture these people with cold?
The rebel understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulations, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they are the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear.
You're not really well versed in psychology, Jocasta, are you? We all possess the same human nature, whether we are on the lower decks or upper decks. And there's only so much of oppression one can hold on his or her back before something happens. No, we want them to have a free mind, but free to do what is right, not free to do whatever, but also to feel respected and to know that that freedom was given by their superiors. I don't like you, Jocasta. We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people who have been pushed to their limits and now they're lashing out. And if you don't know why these top decks units are being sent down there, like that one, then the lieutenant won't let past. Our clans are all inside a bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Awareness test succeeded. Their words seem sincere to you. The body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I would like to find the one who threw it and for him to have some kind of a punishment. Not like terminal punishment, but some kind of punishment. Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everyone that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. Oh wow, she has a lot of demands. I totally agree that it's not really nice to cut off heating or water or air for that matter. That's against the dignity that you have a right to in my ship. But to just give you weapons, I don't think that's prudent. You've gone too far, old man. Don't ever let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They'll probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day is out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that will be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who rob the cultists' bodies, and we'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan, I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures, I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the anointed one turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dare to speak out. Oh, the old lady is a problem. The old lady is a problem. So workers' eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth. Okay, do I even have to ask Abelard where he stands? I think the coercion 60 is like, yeah, it's obvious. It's absolutely obvious. Why don't... My character has lower coercion than Cassia? Yeah. Coercion test succeeded. Old man, listen! Listen! The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. I don't know why a single person in the whole Depot 4 who's ever stood to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now's no time for you to be stubborn old crone. Rivet, you speak wise words. Listen to us, old man. The 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman, but I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great, just fantastic. Lord Captain, we've agreed. Good, then it's decided. The persecution will stop. Now I expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. Okay. Your Lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Remove cargo. Fuel provisions. So I gave them to the lower decks, basically. Of course, your lordship will root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and will leave no stone unturned. Yes, yes. I mean, what would have happened if I slaughtered them all? It would be replaced, everybody would fear me. But would they... What's the point of that kind of a fear? I want them to respect me, not to fear me, you know? Every worker who respects their boss, their employer, works well. Working as a slave, you do the minimum out of fear. You know, you will not go an extra mile. You go an extra mile for someone you love, okay? Respect is a type of love, we could say. I want them to be content, at least, to live a life which is, well, as good as it can be on lower decks. But also, it's good for the ship in the end, right? Let's collect. You don't need these kind of things, and I gave you provisions, so... Do I have any type of extra loot? No. Can I go somewhere? What's this room here? Is that like a secret room somewhere? Why does it look like that? Is that a bathroom? Is that a bathroom? It looks like the Roman type bathrooms. A communal one. No? No, it's not true. It's a normal bathroom. It was kinda weird that I was looking at the person in the bathroom, right? Yeah. I feel kinda weird now. Okay. Can we just move immediately? No, we have to walk all the way back. Fine. Run. Abelard, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rebel. You believe their lies and show them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rebel will welcome them in open arms and allow them to wreak havoc, whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valancius Protectorate? So, he does not approve of my decision. He likes to rule with an iron fist. So, number one, don't speak to me in that tone. I am obliged to speak thus. Who else can point out your errors and offer you counsel? Why are you so angry? But why did you have to... But you're angry because I doubted you. I mean... I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Yeah, I intervened in your... I did not humiliate you in front of others. Don't be as mad. He thinks it's not a strategic thing to do. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard the ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. Wow, I stunned him. Good. Then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I'm uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of crisis, and I lost my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I ought to explain myself. The prosperity of the Von Valancius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds, they create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for.
She would go off on her flagship for long periods, to distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and advancements on the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. Then suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hangar on a seismically active world. Rattling like a flimsy hangar. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I'm not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I'm duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed access to requirements. Okay, I see logic in your words. She trusted that, and she died. I won't make mistakes. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me. Accept it, start living in the new world, where she's gone and I have new decisions. The prosperity is important to me. You're the only one who has knowledge. I think in the future I'll follow your recommendations. Now come on, make a combination of that. I value what she created. I trust that this situation is aberration in the ship's otherwise smooth operation. I understand. Neither of those I like. I want to encourage him, but also tell him that I have new decisions to make. Yeah, number 2, I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it, Abelard. Start living in the new world, a world where Theodora is gone, and where you and I have new decisions to make. You and I. Yes, Lord Captain. Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now please let us leave the lower decks if the Lord Trader decides to stretch his legs. There are far more suitable places. This was a good talk. This is a private talk, as it should be. I did not disrespect him, but also told him that he must respect me and respect my decisions, because I do respect and require his counsel. Every leader should really, really rely on the counsel of the people he's surrounded with. But in the end, every leader has to make the decision by himself. And that's not easy, but it's necessary. So, I gained a lot of experience with this, I see. I could have gained that experience with the massacre, but I did not, and I'm happy with that. Iconoclast 45, Dogmatic 5. That's the Abelard. It's very much like me, right? But more dogmatic. 40, much more. I guess I didn't have enough chances to go there. Are you heretical? Ah, that's why. Yeah, not good. I like her character, but you cannot be just openly heretical in my team. Unless my character will be able to change that heretical nature of yours. Just adjust the camera. Okay. Let me level you up. Level my warrior up. And I will level which part? Toughness or weapon skill?
Strength is for more damage. Weapon skill is for actually hitting. Toughness is for agility. I'm building this guy as a tank, the way I remember it, so better to die for the Emperor. I like that. If no one has the same archetype as this character, the first archetype ability used in each combat by this character is less. No heresy against Xenos. Okay, that's good. Sooner or later I'll take that. All allies +5 to the same characteristics as was chosen for the humanity's finest. I'm not sure what that is. I like this. Under 40% wounds, Imperial World characters gain 10 bonus to all characteristics and resolve. Complete. 1 ranks available. Is that it? Complete. Yeah. That's it. Good. Yeah, I have to level up you as well. Cover efficiency can be reduced with precise attack, joint analysis. Allies attacks remove exploits, deal int bonus more damage. Her int is not as good as my character's int, so not perfect. Perception, ballistic skill, cover efficient. Oh, that's while in cover. I like this. Intimidation. Non-area attack inflicts the intended. So when she hits with the psychic attack, everybody else can be a little bit intimidated. Tactical knowledge. And what's this? Foreboding, prescience. Creates an area that lasts until the start of the next turn. All allies within the area. I don't like it. I like my characters to be mobile. Target gains int perception fellowship until the end of combat. Dominate. That might be a good. That might be. Willpower resistance check. Spend all movement points to move as close as possible toward the Psyker. Oh, so I cannot dominate them literally like in D&D the spell dominates, but they move towards me. Biomancy, that's healing. Pyromancy, flame. Sanctic powers. Pious psychers to protect allies and smite. So I can unlock that. Sanctic powers. Maybe I can redeem her with this. Let's check. What's that? Do I have... I don't see what kind of or maybe all my powers become suddenly sanctic. No. I don't understand it, so I won't click it, and I don't know what's gonna be the actual benefit for that. Because of that all, my choice will be intimidation. And for the available skills, logic, no, tech use, no, I have no need for you of that, but on the other side, perception is really good, and I could use even better perception. So yeah, complete. My favorite character, Argenta, she will go gain even more agility. Yes, please. Next, better to die. I'm not sure. Legion of Hatred. Ah, sounds nasty. No. Base skill. So what do I get with base skill? +7 on a skill. Maybe even base skill like ballistics is not that bad. Or demolition. Character training +5. Chain weapon expert. Chain weapons +4 maximum damage. Bolt weapons. Melee. Swift movements. It will not die. Increases wounds by half the character's level. Not bad. Very tanky. Grenadier. Flame weapon. Dueling. Okay. Yeah, that's not... It's not too much. I'm starting to get the hang of it. Stronger together. No heresy. I'm actually wondering why she doesn't already have this this ability, talent. So of course, no heresy. Now the buffer. Air of Authority. Resolve. Increases an ally's resolve by 3. Momentum, right. Get back into fight. Temporary wounds. And that's very nice. If the target is under the voice of command, also gain temporary wounds. Very strong. I will take it immediately. And common talents. There's a lot of these common talents. Ebb and flow, action points, the navigator plus every odd turn plus 20 perception. Every even turn, action point. Okay. I can hit chance, guide of souls. Navigator starts all turns with additional movement points. The first ally gains the same number, which is very good. So Guide of Souls is my first option. There, Pharaoh's first. Strange Vitality. Strange Vitality is my second option. Heals 6 wounds at the beginning of every turn. Gains 1 additional wound for every navigator talent taken. The healing increases by 1 for every creature killed in between the navigator's turns. I want my healer to be able to stay alive. Naturally. Because healer dies, usually the whole party dies. Healer and tank, right? Damage dealer can die, the fight goes on. Tank dies, GG. Healer dies, usually GG, depends on the tank, but... And of course, my guy. Now, while in cover, I like this one a lot. Plus 15 ballistic and perception. And more cover efficiency, so I really like the perfect one. No, but I like this one as well, because my current intelligence is 50, which is nice. So, to summarize, the attack from joint analysis would be how much? What's my int bonus? Ah, darn it. Summary. Yes. What's my intelligence bonus? Plus 5? Plus 5 damage. So until that's 1 AP, and until my next turn, all allies' attacks remove exploits, which is nice, right? That's with an exploit stack, and deal int bonus damage. The attack removes all exploits. Oh, not necessarily. The damage increased by 10% exploits. The target, you know what? Perfect spot. Perfect spot. And even more. I was good at deck use so far. Even better than good. Lore Imperium, Lore Xenos, 60, 50, 50, but I don't think I can use it. Deck use. Yeah, let's use Logic even more, 70. I have to be a specialist in something, not a jack of all trades. That's how I have a party. If I was a solo character, of course, I would be like a jack of all trades. But I have a party, and we complement each other. That's the beauty of a common life in families, in convents, in general. And with this, we'll be finishing today's Let's Play. We were basically today dealing with issues on our ship. Hopefully next time we'll get to the planet prison planet, I think. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All the things that are needed to appease the machine spirit of the YouTube. And especially comments. You know, if you like or dislike something, I appreciate if you share something that's interesting. I'm here also to engage with you guys as well. So thanks for watching, and God bless you. See you guys next time. Bye bye.